Previously on This and That Garage.
Somebody come by me in this 5 mile an hour traffic and told me I had no brake lights. So yeah, that's good. Well, I forgot to tell y'all how the air conditioner's doing. It's so-so. It's putting out 56, 57 degrees out of the vent. Not great, especially when it's only about 78 degrees outside. That'll never cool on a hot day, though. Well, here's the deal, fellas. I've lost brakes. Yep, sure have. First time I hit the brakes, right after I left the campground, she went almost to the floor. Well, the smoke is brake fluid on the brake drum. Not good, no. You can see it all on the tire. This truck is wearing me out, man. It's got a lot of slop in the steering wheel. I believe it's towed out because it's just wandering back and forth, wearing me out, especially on this little country road. This week on This and That Garage, old Doodie Brown is back. Yes, sir, he sure is. I got some more vehicles I got to go pick up. Doodie Brown is the one to do the job, but if you will recall, last week, well, he had some issues coming and going. Those things have to be fixed before I can go get the other vehicles. Plus, there might be an upgrade in the near future. We'll just have to wait and see. Also, we might go pick up one of these vehicles. Don't hold me to that, because you know how a simple fix can turn into a huge adventure around here. But there ain't but one way I can do any of it. Can't do none of it talking to y'all. So let us get busy. Let me quickly go over the stuff that we've got to fix and possibly the upgrades I'm talking about. Firstly, we're going to start with air conditioning. Yep, if you will recall, we put air conditioning on it, but we didn't do all that great. It wasn't but 75 and 80 degrees going out there and coming back. It kept me cool, but it will never keep me cool now because it's like 92 out. We got to figure out what's going on with that. I got an idea of what's going on. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Also, we lost brake lights. Well, I rigged it up where we had brake lights, but then we lost turn signals due to that. So we got to replace the turn signal mechanism in the steering wheel. Then on the way home, we lost rear brakes. Yeah, that sucks bad. I looked through old videos working on this truck, and we did replace the wheel cylinder. So I don't know what's going on there, but that's not good for a brand new wheel cylinder to do that. Got to be fixed. Now, as far as the upgrades I mentioned, Doodie Brown needs an overdrive terribly bad. 60 to 62 mile an hour, and he's turning like 2,800 RPM. That ain't worth crap. And at 60 mile an hour, it takes you forever to get anywhere. Needs overdrive. I got a couple of things in the works. I ain't gonna tell you what they are just yet, because I'm not sure if either one of them will happen. But that is in the back of my mind, and I'm hoping to get it done this video. If we get that done this video, very possible, we may head up to Ohio and pick up a car. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, let's start on the air conditioning. Now, last week, y'all spent over an hour watching me fumble around with this air conditioning system. I'm not going to great detail. I'm just going to get it done. I'll tell you what I think's going on. Then I'm gonna work on it, fix it, hopefully. Here's what I think's going on. Remember, the orifice tube was really hard to get out. And, well, I think I basically messed that area up. Freon is bypassing the orifice tube, flooding the evap coil with too much liquid Freon, and that's why it's not cooling. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pump her down. I'm gonna reclaim all the Freon, because this stuff's like $12, $13 a can. This thing takes 4+ cans. Reclaim Freon, change the evap, put a new orifice tube in it. Fingers crossed that it fixes it. So let me get my apparatus hooked up. I'll give you a quick rundown of how I'm doing it, then we'll get it done. Here's the setup. It's basically a very old refrigerator compressor. That's it right there. Daddy rigged this up. I don't know when. Actually, I'm not sure if he did or if the older gentleman did. It sort of looks like some of his handiwork. Either way, it works great. I used it 3 or 4 years ago to reclaim some 22 out of unit. Used it 3 days ago on Mama's car. Her compressor went out. So I put a new compressor. I reclaimed the Freon out of it into this tank. So basically what you do, you flip this on, pulls it out from the low side, puts it in this tank. There you go. This is how old this thing is. You have to hold it down and then flip it up. Down is start, up is run. Now that we got it running, let's open up some valves. We'll open up this valve right here too. We'll open up the valve on the tank. And then we'll open up this valve right here and we wait for it to pump it down. Well, I got a pretty decent vacuum on it now. It's right at 30 inches. And this ain't going up anymore, so we're not recovering any more Freon. Let me unhook her and we'll get that evap out of there. Well, here's the deal. It ain't good. Nope. I'll try to get this camera where y'all can see all of the glitter all over the orifice tube. Yep. There ain't but one place that glitter could come from. That's Mr. Compressor right here. Remember me telling you that was given to me by the older feller? And he said it locked up. I don't believe that, but I do believe something happened because that's the only place it could come from. So we need a compressor. I already got an evap bought, so we're going to change that. I may keep that one, flush it out. We'll definitely get a new accumulator. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut that open here in a minute. I want to see how much glitter is in it. Then we got to flush everything. And these, what is this called? Parallel flow? Well, it's not going to be real easy to clean. Nope, but we're going to have to because I'm not spending another $150 on the condenser. I ain't doing it. Nope. Anyways, let me get this feller out, get the compressor off. I got to buy some real AC flush. I don't know if auto parts stores carry that or if I got to buy it online and get it shipped here, but let me get stuff off, get it apart. Well, here's the deal. Change of plans. I am now headed to Delrose, Tennessee, about 2 hours away to buy a transmission that I just bought on Facebook Marketplace. It just come up for sale very cheaply. That's why I jumped on it. Hopefully it's not a pile of garbage. It's an NV 4500. It is for Doodie Brown. That's the 5-speed with overdrive. That basically...
Car on shoulder reported ahead.
Ma'am, will you shut up while I'm talking? Thank you. Anyway, it's the heavy-duty 5-speed overdrive that replaced the SM 465 that's in Doodie Brown now. Anyway, it's like half price of what the rest of them are. He claims it's good. We will see.
Car on shoulder reported ahead.
Ma'am, shut up, I'm talking. Anyway, headed there, Delrose, Tennessee, 2 hours away. Hopefully it's a good one. We'll pick it up tomorrow and hopefully we'll figure out the air conditioner. I did buy a compressor. It's not an R4 like what was on it. We'll discuss that tomorrow. Anyway, see y'all then. Before we get to working on old Doodie Brown over here today, let me tell you about the sponsor of this week's video, Upside. What is Upside? Great question, glad you asked. Let me tell you. Upside is a completely free app you can download straight to your phone and start earning cash back immediately from places you already go, like gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants. Matter of fact, on the way home from the doctor today, I said, you know what? I'm hungry. I pulled out my phone, clicked on the Upside app, zoomed in. Look at there. There's a Burger King right there where I'm at. It really is as simple as opening up the app, zooming in on the map, finding somewhere close by, click on it, click claim. It'll even give you directions to where you want to go. And it is real cash back. There's no points. You can download the money into your bank account or get it on a gift card of various choices. Upside is giving back $1 billion to its users. To find out how much you can earn, download the free Upside app, use promo code this and that, and earn an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up using promo code this and that. Appreciate it, Upside, for sponsoring this week's video. Let's get back to working on old Doodie Brown. 'Tis the next day, and would you look at it? Would you just look at it, fellers? We got an NV 4500 5-speed with overdrive for old Doodie Brown. I run it through all the gears and didn't hear no grinding. Everything felt smooth. That's really about all you can do until you put it in the truck. Hopefully the synchros and everything holds them in gear. There's a modification we need to do to it, to the 5th gear back here. And we're going to have to fabricate some stuff for clutch fork and whatnot. We'll get to that later. Right now, though, another change of plans. Let me tell you about it. One of my nephews has a vehicle that he blew up, and I got to go get it and take it somewhere. I don't know where. So Doodie Brown, air conditioning, we ain't worried about that right now. We got to fix the brakes and the turn signal switch so I can hook up to the trailer and go get his car. So let's get her in the air, get this wheel off, and get this, what's that called? wheel cylinder changed. Hee-ho! Fellas, we got evidence of these tires rubbing. I got to do something about that. Don't know what just yet, but yeah, we may end up ordering longer studs so I can use a wheel spacer, because that is going to wear a tire out and then have a blowout, and that will make me angry if I'm on the road far away and that happens. Oh yeah. All right, let's get this axle out. Is there gonna be any grease? Yep, a little bit. Let me get something to catch that in. All right, axle, come out. All right, let's get this heavy son of a gun off of here. Hey, oh, God bless America. Oh, I remember now. I think these drums have a little lip. I need to go around there and adjust the brake shoes in. I'll be right back. I think I got her loose. Will this heavy son of a gun come off now? Nope. I thought I had it loose enough. Come on, man. Nope. Yeah, it ought to come off now. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, sirree. Oh, yeah. Well, there it is, and it's not what I thought it was. I thought the seal blew out. Nope. The piston's hanging out. Well, you can look up here in this area, right there at my fingertip. It should be touching this pin. It's a good 3/8 of an inch off of it. You know, this came out too far. That's why that piston come out. The only thing that could allow that to happen is if you lost your shoe lining or your drums got too much wear. And we know that's got a pretty good lip. That's about the only thing I can think of is the drums are wore out, and let that slip out. Drums are not cheap for this truck. I'm telling you, they ain't, and it'll be a few days before I can get them. So, Doodie Brown may be done for now, for a few days anyway. Let me go price a drum. Well, I got 2 drums coming. Should be here tomorrow. Longer wheel studs. They might be here tomorrow, but probably the next day. But I've been doing some pondering right here. Let me turn the light on. And I'm not convinced that's the right wheel cylinder, and here's why. That should have never happened. Yes, those are wore. I measured them. Well, I don't have calipers to measure this wide. I did measure the amount of wear and double that, and it's 100 to 150 thousandths wear. And by using a tape measure, it looks like it's, you know, right at the edge of the wear. It's supposed to be 13.090 is max diameter. It's definitely that. But even if that is at the max wear, I don't believe they designed this where this would be able to pop out like that. I don't, you know, if you take this into consideration, if I just wore my brake shoes down that much, that could pop out. I don't believe those are right. And the new ones look just like it, but I looked on AutoZone's website just a few minutes ago at the different ones, and they look different. I ain't sure that's the right ones. I'm gonna do some more investigating on that, because if these are wrong, they need to be gone. Because, you know, got 2 different width of brakes on these trucks. This could be for the smaller ones. Anyway, we're down on this for a day or two, so let's start another portion of the repair on Doodie Brown and see if we can, you know, stop on it and then move to something else too. I think what we'll do right now, let's see if we can fix the turn signal switch, pull the steering wheel apart, or the steering wheel off, and that, I ain't even gonna say it. I was gonna say that should be an easy fix, but nope. I'm gonna take it back. I took it back. Did not say that. Here's another thing. I was hoping to get the compressor today. We could at least start on the AC system. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand these delivery companies. I ordered 4 tires for another vehicle. Y'all will see, I don't know, in a couple months maybe, from Walmart. Last Wednesday, about a week ago. Was supposed to be here Friday. Well, this is Tuesday, and I just got 3 of them. Don't know where the 4th one is, not a clue. And that compressor was supposed to be here this morning. Looked on Amazon, it said delivery attempt failed. Delivery, I don't know, like I wasn't here to accept it, is what it's worded like. But the address where it was delivered is in Nashville. So just looked, and it said it just arrived at Nashville. I don't know, fellas. But anyway, let's lower this thing down. Maybe we can fix the turn signal stuff. I don't know. It usually don't take a whole lot to get these little fellers to pop loose. There it is. That's it. Now comes the fun part of this thingamabob here. Oh, I had to make a spatial one. Remember we turned that down to a smaller size? I made that. I just welded the nut onto a bolt that I cut the head off of. Oh, another thing, don't let me forget. This thing wanders back and forth on the road. It will flat wear you out, man, trying to drive this truck. So I want to figure that out. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, that's way too tight. I'm gonna break something if I get any tighter, but this won't come out. Whoa, horn works. How'd I do that? I can't grab a hold of it. Let me fool with it for a minute, see what's going on. Well, I got it all apart. You have to loosen the steering here a little bit, and then you just slide this whole mechanism out. Hopefully, that's the plan anyways. But it hangs on everything. I'm fixing to cut the wires, is what I'm gonna do, because, yeah, buddy, getting on my nerves. Here's what we're gonna do. That's how you get it out. Yep. When it don't matter if you tear it up or not, that's how you get it out. Now let me find the new one and see if I can get it in. Well, I just did a little investigating with the old turn signal. White wire comes from your brake switch. It's like a little ribbon cable. Well, I grabbed the white wire, started pulling on it. When I got to this end here, well, I realized it wasn't connected to anything. Nope, it come loose. Anyway, just cheap Chinese junk, I'm sure. This is probably about the same, but we gotta have one, so let's put it in. Y'all probably ain't gonna be able to see a whole lot of this because my back's gonna be in the way, but let's see if we can get this feller in there without, any violence that I used to get the old one out. I need a flashlight. Wait a minute. We got something stuck right there that does not belong. I think it's part of that plug. Let me get something and poke that out with. I got my short screwdriver. Let me jam it down in here and get this out, whatever it is. Yeah, it was part of the connector I broke. Get out of here. If you don't do it right, it's backwards. It goes like that. So you want to go in approximately like that. You take my short screwdriver and help it out a little bit. Let me fight with this. I'll be back, because I'm probably going to say some bad words. Well, I managed to get it down the tunnel. It's plugged in. Do we have brake lights? Brake lights, brake lights, brake lights. Let me look at the video and I'll tell you. Well, according to the video, we do have brake lights now, so that's awesome. Let me get all this put back together, and then about the only thing we can work on now is the AC system. I'm pretty sure I will not be getting my compressor tonight, but we can replace the evap, pull the condenser, clean it out good, clean all these hoses, get this old compressor out of the way, and then we'll be waiting on parts. Yep, it's tore completely apart. Your little bearing goes here. I don't know if y'all remember last time, you know, I worked on this. I had a tremendous amount of trouble out of that bottom bearing, kept falling apart. Well, there you go. Here's part of the race. There's part of the race. There's all the ball bearings. There's the top one. Half of them fell out. So, yeah. 3 for 3. Can't fix the air. Can't fix this. Can't fix this. Going in the house. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe. Tis the next day again, and hopefully today we might get something accomplished. I will go ahead and tell you, though, we can't finish the air. Waiting on parts. We can't finish the brakes. Waiting on parts. We can't finish the steering wheel. Waiting on parts. But let me turn you around and show you what I have discovered about these bearings that keep falling out of this steering column. If you will notice, it is installed. I just don't have my upper bearings, but I did get the lower bearing in, and they didn't fall out. Let me show you why. Here is part of that lower race. This is what holds the ball bearings in. That's the only purpose this serves, is to hold them in place. Well, let me get up here against the wall. See that lip on the right hand side? That is what holds them in. It goes in that way, and that lip clips on a groove. Won't let them fall out. Well, I didn't know that. I've been putting them in backwards because that just seems backwards. Well, got on YouTube last night. A fella was installing this. He showed that lip. He showed clipping it in, and I had an aha moment. So, fella, whoever you are, thank you for that information, because it has saved me a lot of headache now. Because, I mean, just, you know, went right in. I ain't having to fight them. But I am waiting on the top bearing, you know, because I put it on the bottom. It'll be here tomorrow. So we'll finish that up tomorrow. Everything for the brakes is here except for the longer wheel studs. They're coming from Summit. Won't be here till tomorrow. We can do some work on it, though. And then the air, if you will recall, I recovered the Freon from this metal-infused system. Well, there's liable to be some metal in that Freon, you know, because it'll suck some oil with it, too. I don't want to put it back in here unless it runs through a filter. Well, that filter won't be here till tomorrow. But we can get this pretty much ready to fill up with Freon. And that's what I'm working on right now is brackets. Here's the compressor we're using. It's called a Sandon SD508. Well, that part number ain't on here. I guess that's the other 5H14. These are supposed to be really good compressors. Where'd that other one go? R4. Have I don't know. There it is. Might tear that apart later. I mean, these, they have a bad reputation, but the one on my four-wheel drive out there has been on there for over 200,000 miles, unless I have forgot that I changed it out. So, you know, I don't know what happened to that one, but anyway, these are supposed to be really good. That's what we're going to use. This is what Vintage Air uses and a lot of other aftermarket companies, the Sandon compressor. Here's the deal. Got this bracket that fits that compressor. This came from the older feller. Well, it was the same situation that compressor there come from. He bought these brackets thinking it would put that compressor on his square body. But he quickly found out, no, this fits a Sandon, so he gave them to me. It's 2 more brackets over in the bag. I'm using these as a template. Got her cut out, got the holes marked. Let me cut her out, get the holes marked. We've got to have 2 of these, 1 adjuster. Let me get them all cut out, and then we'll put it on the compressor, put it on the truck, and I'll hopefully show you how it works. Hot, very hot, very, very hot, very, very hot. I've got to grind them smooth. I'm gonna bolt or clamp them together, do the edges where they'll be the same, drill the holes where they'll be the same, and we'll be done with these. All right, let's drill some holes, or drill this first one. We'll bolt it together and drill the other 3. I got them done up, and I think I was going to put them on approximately like this. We'll find out in a moment if it doesn't work. Well, that one lines up, so that's good. All right, let me get this one on, and we'll go try it out. I almost forgot, I got to drill this bottom hole out. The pivot point is going to be where we were, you know, doing the adjusting. And it's threaded, so it's too small, so I got to drill it out. But this bracket right here's in the way, so let me take the bracket out of the way. This is the rear of the old compressor. I ain't gonna throw it away. We'll probably never use it, but I ain't throwing it away. All right, let's drill this old feller out. All right, there we go. I'm gonna guess at the spacing for now. We're gonna do that right there. We're gonna do that right there. And then give me some more spacers. Like a glove, I mean. Now do these holes line up? Here we go. All right, let's try that. What do we look like? It's really close lining up. That belt, will it work? No, sir. Well, it will too, depending on how much we got going on here. Well, we may shorten it up a little bit, but for now, let's pretend we're going to use this belt. I got to have 2 brackets from here over here, and they need to mount down here too. And then this is where a slot will be. So let me get some measurements, and then we'll get over on the table and go to cutting them out. Well, I got my upper template made out of cardboardian. I don't know how well you can see it, fellas, because it's a little cramped in here, but there she goes, adjusting back and forth. We probably got 2.5-ish inches of adjustment. Let me get you over here where you can see a little better. Look up there. Oh, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go eat me a sandwich real quick, and then I'll come back and make that out of steel. We'll cut our slot, put it on. I don't think I can put one over here because it's going to hit either the valve cover or that bracket. May try it. If it hits, then we can't use it. But anyways, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, do it fit? Let us see. Let me get a nut on that one there. 3 whooshers for spacers up here. Oh yeah, fella, she lines up pretty doggone good. All right, let me tighten this one down here just a wee bit because she's flopping a little bit. All right, that tightened her up pretty good. I can still move it. Now I got to get me something stick in this hole, make us our arc, and then we got to drill that out. What am I going to use? We're going to use this transfer punch right here. Press it firmly against it, and then go back and forth till I scribe me a line. All right, let me get that off there. We got to drill that slot out. All right, we're gonna make lots and lots of punch marks right here. All right, let me get over here and drill this out. I'll be back in a little bit. There's all the holes. Let me get them wallered out real quick with the Die grinder. I got the bracket on the compressor. One of them things is too big, so let me get some whooshers. All right, let's see what this here does. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whooshers. That's just about perfect, man. Just about perfect. All right, is he gonna adjust? Look at here. What you look at it, what you just look at it. Oh yeah, let me loosen it up a little bit. Like a charm. All right, I need, this belt ain't gonna work, so I gotta find a belt. You know, I should have some because I bought like 6 the other day. Let me find a belt. Well, I gotta get this lined up first because all I did was eyeball it. Get this lined up. I'll put a belt on it, and then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. Might pull the evap out. Anyways, when I come back, we'll do something. But let me get this belt situated first. Well, the Artez, it is finished. The belt is on. Other belts are on. Ready to go. Pretty sturdy. I did line her up. I had to take about 3 whooshers away from up here. And, of course, down here, we had a big nut. So I'd take that out, put whooshers there. Other than that, she's ready to go. But I'm probably going to have to take it off because I don't know the oil situation in it. A lot of times they want you to dump the oil out in a measuring cup, and then you got to add some or whatever. I got to read the instructions on it, but it's done. And brackets don't look too bad. Let's get a front view of the adjusting bracket. It's a little bulky right in here, but I don't care. I'd rather it be too big than too skinny and break. Oh, look here. I need a whoosher. I will do that in a minute. What I'm fixing to do right now, though, I think let's pull the condenser coil out because it's going to be a bear, I'm telling you, to get it clean. We'll go to cleaning on it, and then I'm probably going to call it a day. All right, let's get this fella out of the way. Firstly, get out of here, sir. Grill is next. I don't know if I like this or not. Y'all let me know. Should I keep that on there or get rid of it? Now I gotta have some wrenches. Oh, I forgot. This stupid thing is bolted in. I gotta take the radiator loose and lean it back. Yep, gotta do that here in just a moment. Let's see. Oh, I gotta take this garbage loose. What in the world, man? I'll be right back. I think everything is loose and out of the way. Let's get this fella out of here. This was, I think, $170. Man, I hate to have to buy another one, but I mean, y'all see how it's made. You got 2 headers basically, and these little bitty tubes. The problem is, well, it's just gonna be trapped everywhere and all in these little tubes. And let's see if we can clean it. If not, I may have to buy another one. I don't know yet. We'll see. All right, I bought me a little flusher apparatus here on Amazon the other day. You fill it up with, they got AC flush. It's some kind of alcohol, but it's like $50 or $60 a gallon, and I'm not paying that. Nope. So we're going to use the old acetones. Let me give her a little bit of pressure. I got a rag wrapped around here. I want to see if we catch anything. I'm gonna blow it in here. Here we go. Hopefully I don't get a face full of this stuff because that would probably hurt. Here we go. Well, ain't nothing happening yet. Let me give her a little more pressure. Oh, good gracious, we got her coming out now. That scared me. Yep. This probably needs to be done outside. And that's probably what we're going to do tomorrow, but let's just see if we got any trash in this rag or not yet. And then we'll wait till tomorrow to do this in the daylight outside. It's not real bad. So it's probably got a lot of fine stuff in it. But yeah, like I said, let's do this tomorrow outside. Well, we're not making a mess. What I'm probably going to do too is, well, let's just do that now. I'm going to see if I can't fill it up a little bit and slosh it around. All right, let me slosh that around a little bit, see what happens. Oh, it's burning the cuts, burning very badly. But I don't see any shiny stuff. Anyway, tomorrow we'll flush this outside really, really good. I may go buy another gallon of that because we're going to run through it pretty quickly on this feller here, I think. Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow and we'll continue cleaning on this. Well, it's been a day since I've worked on it. I took yesterday off, fellas. The old knees, they've been hurting me pretty bad last week or so. I think I'm still fighting the tick fever disease. But anyways, enough about that. We got us some parts here. We got 2 drums over there. And, you know, I left y'all off cleaning this out. Well, I decided I'm not going to throw it away, but we're not using it on this truck. I bought another one. It showed up just a while ago. Here's what I'm going to do with this. I'm not throwing it away. But it being a parallel flow, if you don't know what that means, let me explain it to you. I'll see if I can find where the cutoff point is on these headers. I can't really see it. Maybe one right there. They're in sections. It'll flow this away, and it'll come down here. There's a place there that cuts off, blocks off this. Well, it'll flow this away. It'll come down here. There's another one there. It'll flow this away and then come down here to the bottom and then out. Parallel flow. Because these tubes are parallelly flowing. And that makes it really hard to clean. And, you know, not to mention these little bitty thin tubes. I believe that's what they call micro channel. I remember, you know, I told y'all I used to work at Train Air Conditioning. I remember when they went to micro channel on their condenser coils. I think that's what you call that. Here's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to flush it out with water. Oh, no, you can't use water. Watch me. I'm going to flow back and forth because I have an unlimited amount of water. Hopefully, I get most of that stuff flushed out. Then I will back it up with acetone to sort of help wash the water out. Then we're going to set it up somewhere for a week or two. Let the acetone and water dry up, evaporatize. Then we'll plug both ends, put it on the rack, and then when we have another square body that we want to put air on, we'll use this. The reason I won't use it right now is because it will take so long to get all the water and stuff out. We'll just use a new one. Right now, though, let's take a break from the AC system. That's what all this is, by the way. Other than these, it leaks bad on the valve covers. We're going to change them out. That's the evap coil. That's another accumulator. Oh, that goes back there. That's my wheel studs. And then the filter for putting the Freon back in. Let's take a break on that, though. I want to get the brakes done. Here are my new drums right there. So let's get those hubs and those drums married. Get the wheel cylinder changed out and put that on and bleed it and get these brakes done. First thing we got to do is knock these studs out so we can get this hub off this drum, put the new one on it. I don't want to just beat on these because we may need them. They're not cheap. Anyway, we're going to try to save them. Oh, and they're solid. All right, now, there's that. Does that have a certain way it goes? I don't think so. Nah, I think we'll be all right. Now, this fella here is going in the scrap. Oh, yeah. Heavy, heavy. Put that fella up there just approximately like that. Let me go get the new studs. $50 per 10. Yep. $5 a piece for these little fellers. They are a half-inch longer. I think they're like 4.032 under the head. That'll let us run half-inch spacer so we don't wear our wheels out, or our tires. That brass drift looks pretty rough, you know, it's been hit so much. So I think I will wear the old glasses, you know, so I don't get a piece of that in my eyeball. All right, I'm getting little shavings everywhere, so let's do this to keep them out of that bear ink. All right, I got 6 more to go. I'll be back when I get done. Well, we got a gap between the hub and the drum. So what I'm gonna do is tighten down with 2 lug nuts until it gets tightened down, and then come back and hit on them some more, drive them on in. I believe that's got it. Let me whoop on these a little more, and then we'll get back over yonder and work on it wheel cylinder. Well, I got the studs in to the best of my abilities. Now we're going to change out this wheel cylinder if I can get the right socket. All right, let's get this fella out of here. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. I don't really want to take these brakes all the way apart. But I got to get these. Well, I guess I could do it like that to get them out. Yep, there we go. Let's do something real quick. I want to measure this bore. That'll tell us if it's the right one or not. It probably is, but I can't believe they designed something that could let them pistons pop out like that. Trust me, fellas, I have wore down rear brakes, well, on the S10 a couple years ago. It was nothing. There was literally nothing but steel. And these didn't pop out on the S10. So, anyway, let me see if I can get that feller out. We'll measure the bore real quick. Well, there it comes right there. All right. Let me get my calipers. I think the measurement's 1 3/16 for the Camper Special big brakes. What we got? 187. So yeah, they are the right ones. All right, let's get the new one on. I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. Let's just go ahead and put these in, and maybe we'll get lucky and slide all this in at once. Go like that right there and that right there. Put that one in. If it'll go in that back, look at there, fellers. That was too easy. You know what that means, don't you? Something bad is going to happen later on. You just mark my words down. I know MLS very intimately. Yep. Anyways, let me get this bolted back up. All right, got that on, got the line on. This is soaked in brake fluid, so let's see if we can't clean some of it off the shoes at least. This has a tendency to make stuff rust, so I'm gonna spray some of this inner, especially these threads on the self-adjuster, with some WD, you know, just to keep it from rusting so bad. Let's give her a wee bit of WD. Nothing major, you know, because we don't want it getting on her brakes. Mainly this self-adjuster is what I want to get lubed. I always grease them up, but you know, we just washed all the grease away. Now, I guess it's time to put our drum on. Let me get the heavy son of a gun. I'm going to get a hernia from working on this big old heavy stuff. Holy crap, holy. Woo. All right, here we go. All right, are we going in yet? Wait a minute, you bonehead. You got to take that rag out. All right, now, whew, let's do it again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, that I'm lightheaded, give me a minute. I'll be back. We'll put this together. Asthma sucks, fellas, let me tell you. Sure does. All right, let's get the rest of this little feller put together. I don't really know how tight these are supposed to be. Seemed like I had that dilemma last time, and I don't remember what I decided to do. Let me back it up one. About right there. Where's my little key? Well, there you go. I've lost my little key, so let me find it. I'll be back in a little bit. It should be right here, but it's not. Is it on the floor? Yes, sir. I found it. I found it. Right there. All right, now we got a little clipper. Goes just like that right there. And that's all the holes out on there. Yep, sure is. Now we're gonna put just a wee bit of RT and V on this feller here, because we don't want our axle grease leaking out. Oh, excuse me, it's not grease, it's oil. I had a feller tell me that one time. I said I was going to put some grease or check the grease in the rear end and the transmission. It's not grease, it's oil. I get a kick out of people like that. All right, let me do the other side of this, and then I'll put the axle in. All right, let's get Mr. Axel back in his home. I got the brakes adjusted pretty good. It's acting like this drum is warped. It'll rub and then it won't rub. So that's not good. Anyway, let's see if our longer studs are gonna help us out on letting us run our spacers so these tires don't rub. Ooh. There's a quarter. Let's just run them both. Might as well. Oh, yeah! Yep, I think it's gonna be okay. Let's put a couple on, see what it does. We got full thread engagement barely, with maybe one thread to spare, so we should be good. Let's get back here and see our gap now. What kind of room we got? Oh, we can drive a truck through that. Look at there. Hello in there. Yeah. I'll tell you what we might do. Well, you know, I ain't got no weight on it, so the tires ain't bulging. That's gonna make them be closer. When I get it done, we'll back it outside on the ground, weight on both tires. If we still got a lot of gap, enough to take one spacer away, we might do that and just run one. Let me get that other side done first, then we'll check that out. Both drums are done. Now we got to get our proportioning valve reset. You know, because that's when you lose brakes, it kicks over to one side and then turns your brake light on the dash. Well, what you do, I'll show you right here. There's a little plastic thing. Screws down in there. It's got a pin that pops up and makes the switch when the valve moves over. Well, you got to get the valve moved back over. You got to pull that plug out, get you a pick down in there, and hopefully you get it back over to the side. That's what I got to fool with, but I can't hardly get to nothing. Let me work on it a minute. Well, I can't get my pick in there. I can't feel it, can't see it. So we're gonna do the next trick, and that is open the bleeder on the side that has pressure. Slowly push the pedal down, and you might kick it back over. We will know that happens when the brake light goes out. So let's see what happens. Well, it ain't happening. So that's good. That's real good. Yep. I'm going to probably have to take that stupid radiator off just so I can get to it. I had to do it last time. Remember, we didn't have brakes, rear brakes, coming back from Arkansas. Yeah, it's not going to work. So, man. Let me pull the radiator out. Yay, yay me. I don't know if I can zoom in far enough, but got brake fluid leaking out that center brassy colored hole. Yep. Gotta have a new proportioning valve. Well, that was a battle, but there she is. Finally got it out. And right in here, there's your little doodad that flops to one side or the other. And let me see if I can find it real quick. This little feller here screws down in there. See that pin? The thing that shifts back and forth has got a valley cut in it. But when it shifts one way or the other, it hits this pin. There's a wire hook to it. That's hooked to your brake light, and that's what makes the brake light come on. And if you could see it, you can get a pick down in there and reset it, bring it back to center. Well, I couldn't see it, and then this kept filling up with brake fluid it should not be. So that goes in the trash, yep. I got one right here. This was for the 65 C10. Well, it's going for the 1980 C10 now. Let me get this put back in. That was not fun, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. Say your prayers that I can get this little fella back on pretty easy. Well, 64 years later, finally got that proportion valve changed out. Man, what a job. Good grief. Got the power bleeder ready to go. I got a little bit of a leak here, don't I? Maybe it won't leak too bad. Speaking of leaks, let me turn the flashlight on, go down here, and we got us a leak right there. Pretty sure it's coming from the power steering. I'll have to check that out. And I went to raise up my lift here, and the button, well, it just disintegrated. So this is the only way I can operate it right now. I'll have to get a switch for it. Let me plug her in. We'll raise it up and bleed these brakes. All right, we're ready to bleed. Let me show y'all these real quickly. One of y'all sent me these a couple years ago. It's a bleeder. I'm having trouble just putting a little wrench up there. It's just hard to get to. Well, that's where this little fella here comes in handy. Put that on your bleeder, and then you turn it and keep turning it and keep turning it. Oh yeah, it's pretty neat. I think this in here is going to fit. Yeah, fit just fine and dandily. I don't remember who sent it to me. If you're still watching, well, comment in the comments and let me know. Oh, we got all kind of air, fellers. Yep. Lots and lots of air. Let it go till that quits. That's a handy little tool, though. Yeah, because I done tried it with a, what is this, 5/16. And I could get about that much turn in it. Wasn't letting hardly any fluid out. And to get another bite where I could turn it again, I'd have to pull the hose off and make a mess. So yeah, pretty handy, man, pretty handy. All right, our air's pretty much gone. Is our level still going up? Oh yeah, I think we're good there. So let's close that one off. Let's go to the other side. Y'all see this right here, this muffler? Probably can't, I'll show you in a minute. It is black from something, some type of oil product getting on it, and it's baked on. I got a pretty good idea of what it is. I'll show you here in just a minute. Oh, look at the air. Look at the air, man. No more air. I'm going to let it run for just a few more seconds. All right, I think that in there is good. Now, let me show y'all what I'm talking about right here. Pretty bad. It looks like I spray painted the mufflers black, but it's baked on oil is what it is. It's all over in here. This is here. It's got some dripping off it a little bit. Some hanging off of there, some hanging off of there. Well, I think what it is, I know it's motor oil. I don't think it's rear main. We got a valve cover. It leaks pretty good. You can see it on the starter here. I'm hoping that's where it's coming from. I got valve cover gaskets. I'm going to change them out, and then we'll clean this up and hopefully take care of that. But anyways, let me get the fronts bled, and I'll be back. Well, let's see what the pedal feels like. I ain't going to start it up because I don't know what all's unhooked under the hood. What does the pedal feel like? A lot better than it was. Yes, sir. Sure is. Brake light. I'm pretty sure it's going to be off. Oh, yeah. All we got is a fastened seat belt. That's good. Well, we won't know for sure until... that does go down kind of far. Like right there before it does anything. I don't remember what it used to feel like, though. But we'll see. Maybe tomorrow when we take it for a drive. I think I'm going to call it a day. I had no clue that I would be spending 16 hours on the brakes and the proportional valve and all that. But I think we got all that fixed now, so that's awesome. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to check this power steering leak, see what's going on there. Hopefully it's just a loose return hose. Then I think what I'll do is I'll get in here and put the steering wheel back together, and I'm going to call it a day. Tomorrow, let's see if we can get the dad blame air conditioning done. Be done with this. Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Well, here's where we're at today. This is what I did last night, actually. Steering wheel, steering column is back together, but guess how many times I had to take that little feller back apart? 3. Yep. I hate steering columns. Too many little parts. Yep. Then, what did I do? I took the compressor off because we got to know how much oil's in it. So it's draining right now. And I blew out the hoses with my acetone and my little thingamabob over there last night because I want them to drain and dry all night. We'll probably blow them out one more time before we put them on. Then took all the bolts and screws out of the evap box. So it's ready to come off and get that evap out. So let's start with that. Let's see if we can get this fella apart without breaking things. I don't know if you need to take the box off first or bring everything, the coil and all. I don't really understand what's got it. There we go. We're getting somewhere now, by George. Look at here. Look at here. What if I just laid that right there? Pull this coil out. She's a little dirty, but oh crap, there's oil coming out of it. I got it all over my arm. Anyway, it's a little dirty, but it wasn't too bad. Let me clean my arm up and we'll look inside that case. What have we got going on in here other than our little gasket broken into a million pieces? There's a little bit of garbage in here. Not bad though. We did a pretty good job of cleaning it up. I'll get the rest of that out. But I'm concerned about a gasket. What are we going to use? RTV? It's the only thing I know to do. Let me clean that out real quick and then we will get the new coil in there. There's just some remnants of a mouse house right there in the corner. That's about it. Oh crap, a tui. What in the world, man? What is that stuff right there? Something that's nasty. I think we'll clean this box up real quick, like, just in case, you know, there's some nastiness from the mices and mices. All right, let me clean the part that's on the truck. We'll open up that box and see if they got any kind of gasket that comes with it, or are we gonna have to use some RT&V? No, sir, no gaskets at all. Well, that's good. Thanks, appreciate it. Let me compare it to the old one, make sure they're the same. Yeah, Pretty much so, I think. All right, let me get this put in real quick like. And then hopefully here in a couple of hours maybe, we'll be putting Freon on this thing and trying it out. All right, let's see if we can get this thing in there without tearing it up or the plastic housing. She's gonna go in there just like that right there. Like I said, this foam here on the inside, it felt good. It wasn't missing or anything. The fun part is gonna be sealing this with RT and V and then not making a mess. So let me go put some on this and I'll be right back. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Fun, fun, fun. I got my RT and V on here. Now how are we gonna do this without smearing it everywhere? Well, I don't really know, to be honest with you, because I can't get it down in there. The dipstick tube is in the way. Go in like this right here. Yeah, but I'm getting it everywhere. All over the edge of the coil. Bottom stud's way off and I don't know why. Let me get this screw back together. I'll be back and we'll continue on. Man, this hurts my belly laying over this thing. Well, got her in, got her bolted up. I gotta find something to put around her holes here and there because that's huge air gaps, yeah. Plus I may caulk around the box there where it's on the firewall. I'm not sure what to put here. I'm fixing to run to Lowe's. I'm gonna get me some, I don't know if plumber's putty would do good or not. I may just get some silicone caulk and put it around there. I think that'll be okay. Let's go over and look at the compressor real quickly. How much Earl did we get out of it? We got approximately exactly about 5 ounces. I think the stock system was 6 ounces. I'm gonna recheck that. If so, I think we're gonna let that ride. Well, I think it takes PAG 100, somewhere on the compressor. I think that's what it says. I might get a little bit, add a little bit, you know, just to be sure. But that compressor is a lot smaller, you know, than the stock one. It'd be way out here. So I'm gonna say 6 ounces is probably what we need. I'll add 1 ounce. Should be good. Let me run to Lowe's, get the stuff I need, but I gotta clean up. I got that dead blame RTV all over me. Anyways, I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I am back from the store and I got some black silicone, well, I don't know if it's silicone or not. Dynaflex Ultra. It is black. Window, door, siding, and trim caulk. We're gonna fill this little feller up just like that right there. And hopefully that will seal us up where we don't lose any airflow and coolness. If I can get this little feller down in here. Let's go on down this way. Well, I got it done up. It ain't real pretty, no sir, but it will hopefully not leak. All in there too. It dries on your skin like almost instantly. Yep, so hopefully this will cure pretty quickly. If it does good, we got a couple of holes in the firewall I need to plug. One of them's right there. And the other one, where's it at? Right there. Well, coming back from getting that Chevelle, I started smelling oil, but it's not engine oil. Only thing I can think of is, you can see it right here on the hood. I'm pretty sure it's coming from this, probably due to turning, you know, 2,800 RPM, hours on end. Anyway. If this stuff does good, we're gonna plug them holes so I don't smell that Earl burning anymore. Right now though, speaking of Earl, let's see about this compressor. I got me some PAG 100, because that's what that calls for. Right there. Here's the dilemma. I don't know how much to put in it. We got 5 ounces out of this. And on the original A6 compressor, that's the really long one, calls for 10 ounces. On the R4 like we had, calls for 6. And the only thing that's changing is the compressor size. Well, this feller here is probably in between those two. So I'm figuring 8, maybe 9 ounces. We got 5 in it, so I think I may put 3 in the accumulator, 2 in the condenser and let it ride. It'd be 9 ounces. Hopefully it's enough. But anyway, let's get the condenser out. I'll put Earl in it and we'll get it bolted in here. All right, from the time I just talked to y'all till I got this out of the box, I've completely forgot how much oil I said I was gonna put in it. Yep, sure have. I think my brain said 9. And we got 5 in the compressor, so 2 in here. I think I said 3 in the accumulator. No, we're gonna do 2. 2 and 2 plus 5 is 9. This was like a rainbow, by the way. I bought one the other day before the one that we ain't gonna use. And I refused to open it. The package was so torn. There's no foam protecting them. It's just cardboard. The box was just ripped to shreds. I refused to open it. Sent it back. This in here wasn't a whole lot better, but it had no foam protection. Nope. Anyways, there's 4 ounces. We'll put 2 in here. Put approximately 2 in this. All right, let me let this drain. I'll put the caps back on it. We'll put it on the truck. Let's get this little fella in here. It's kind of aggravating to get it bolted in, if I recall correctly, because the stuff is gone. Anyways, let me get this bolted in. I'll be back in a minute. Hey. I got the condenser in. We're putting an accumulator in now. I'll put 2 ounces of Earl in it. I'm gonna get the lines on. I'm gonna get the compressor on. And then we gotta redo our lines going into the compressor, you know, because they hook up different. When I get to that point, I shall return and we'll hopefully get them fixed up. All right, I'm working on getting our hoses terminated. If you will recall, this is how it connected to the R4 compressor. Well, this sanding compressor uses this type of fitting. So I got to adapt. What I'm working on right now is the high side coming out of the compressor. Well, here's the issue. Well, I can't get that off. Well, hang on. The issue is, I don't know if you can see that or not. So it's been swaged down to a different size. This measures half. This was 400 thousandths. Don't know why they do that. Well, let me tell you this. You know, I used to work at Train Air Conditioning. Air conditioning tubing piping is measured OD. Like your water line is measured ID. I don't know why they do it, but they do. Anyway, these, remember last time I had to cut, you know, this goes on here. And we had to cut it off here. Well, this line is the same as what is switched down here. So I had to drill that out once I got that cut off. It slips up on there. Now what we got to do is flare the end just a little bit to sort of like a barbed fitting, give the hose something to push against where it won't slide off. So let me flare that. When I come back, we'll hopefully swedge or what do you call it, crimp a piece of hose on there. We'll crimp it to this side. We'll be done with that, and then I got to do the low side. This little feller here is, it's really hard to flare 1/2 inch aluminum because it's pretty thick tubing. Oh yeah. And you don't need a full 45-degree flare, but you got to have something for that tube to back up against. Let me see what that did right there. Just a wee bit of a flare. That should be good enough. Now I hope that my tubing will fit over here. I don't really know that it's going to, but I sure hope it does. Let me blow this out, clean this out, because we don't want no shavings in that. When I get them come back, we'll crimp a piece of hose on there. Well, we've got a dilemma. Remember me telling you I didn't like this little kit that I bought? It's don't buy it. Yeah. Here's the deal. This is what you need to be using for your high side, and it's too small. It should be 3/8. Well, this is 13/32 right here, and it's too small. And you don't really want to use something that big for high side. It'd probably okay no longer than it is, but I ain't gonna use it. Well, it won't even fit over the flare that we made right here. Even that won't even fit. So, change of plans. Here's what I've done. That hose used to run through this hole. Now she's running through this big hole. And that's give us enough length where I can just cut this stuff off and then crimp it right to that fitting there. And I'm hoping we can do the same to this, because it's probably going to be about the same thing. This is smaller than this. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but let me get, where did it go? Let me get this stuff here cut off, and then we'll recrimp it on this one here. Trying to pry it open the rest of the way. There it went. She popped right then, except for this end right here. Well, I think I slightly cut that hose. Plus, I'm gnawing on it with this screwdriver and pliers. So I think, yeah, we're gonna have to cut her off anyways. Yep, about right there. Hopefully, that's long enough. All right, is it long enough? Yeah, just barely, but it is. So put that little feller on there where she's going to go, and I'm going to draw a line so our orientation will be right. All right, let me pull it off here. We'll crimp it. I'm having trouble getting this to go on the fitting, so you don't want to use no grease, Vaseline, nothing like that. So let's use some compressor oil, and hopefully that's going to help us get that right on there. Oh yeah, look at there, fellas. She slid right on. All right, let me get my little crimping tool out. Once again, I don't have a die that fits right, so we'll probably have to use this one here to crimp it some, and then I'll have to go down the size. I don't understand it. You got regular hose and then what they call reduced barrier hose. And you got both sets of dies for that. And none of them fit tightly. I don't know. Let's see what this here does, but ain't got a clue. No, sir, sure don't. Maybe this in here do it. Ooh, I think that's it. All right. What does it look like? No, it ain't even thought about. Look at the space in there between the hose. It ain't even thought about crimping it. What in the world, man? I don't understand it. That was a 10. This is an 8. All right, let's try this in here. Get it in the grooves. That's about all I got. What did that do to us? No, nowhere near. Maybe I just ain't got a clue what I'm doing. But that right there is not crimped. You know what's probably going on? That's exactly what's going on. These are for a regular, let me explain. You got your regular standard hose, and you got what's called reduced barrier, meaning the OD is smaller. For room under the hood. What's going on is this is probably reduced barrier hose. These are not, and probably not going to work. I'm going to see if I can make it work, but that's probably what's going on. That just dawned on me that yeah, my fitting is not reduced barrier, and that's why this ain't acting right. I'm new to building air conditioning systems for vehicles anyway. So, I'm learning. I will be getting new fittings, or both standard and reduced barrier. I'll be getting some different hose. Because this is aggravating right here, trying to make stuff work that, ain't supposed to. Heave-ho! Now that pin is stuck. So that's good. That's real good. Yep. Did I bend it? Must have. I don't know if that's crimped or not. I really don't. We're going to call it crimped. If it blows off, it blows off, fellas. I tell you what, I'm getting aggravated. I'm going to call it a night. Well, it's approximately 9 o'clock the next night. Yep, sure is. I've slept most of the day. I'm pretty sure the tick fever disease is back. Don't think I took antibiotics long enough for the last round. Anyway, I ain't getting into that. I do feel better just after a couple doses. Figured let's get out here and do something because I was bored. I'm just going to tell you, I was bored. Well, here's the deal. Let me turn you around and show you what's going on. The newest issue with the AC system on old Doodie Brown. It's really, really getting on my nerves. Remember this setup here? This $42 fitting? Well, last night after I shut the camera off, I was going to hook this up to the accumulator and see what I was going to have to do to make this end down here work on the compressor. Well, look at here what happened. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Yep, she just spins. That will never seal. Nope. I have tightened that up tight as I can. There's no more travel. What the deal probably is, this is aluminum, and it just keeps squishing. It'll never tighten up on it. It's meant for steel tubing, and it just ain't gonna work on this. Anyways, here's what we're gonna do. Well, let me tell you this firstly. I spent a couple hours on the interwebs last night and today educating myself on automotive AC fittings, hoses, lines, and all that. I don't like being, I've told y'all before, I don't like being ignorant in a certain subject, especially if I'm working on it. So educated myself on this stuff here. Mainly, you know, what is this fitting called? So I know what to search for. What is this fitting called? So I know what to search for. Hoses, you know, I told y'all last night about the standard barrier and reduced barrier. Anyway, I am more educated now than I was yesterday. Here's what we're going to do because I cannot find the fittings. I can't get them in a timely manner. Well, I can get them locally, but I'm done paying, you know, 3 or 4 times what you can get online. I'm not doing it anymore. Anyways, what we're going to do, we're going to chop that fella off right there. Here's a fitting out of the kit I bought on Amazon the other day. We got to cut that off, get the nut out of the way. We're going to join these two in holy matrimony by brazing them with aluminum rod. Remember that rod I bought here a while back? It's over there. We fixed the radiator. After we do that, if that holds good, we're going to take this fitting. It's going to screw down on the compressor right there. We're going to finally get to use some of my hose out of the kit that I bought off Amazon, make us a new hose over there. That's what we're doing, yep. So, let me cut this fella off, get it cleaned up. Cut that off, get it cleaned up. Let's see if I can't braze them up. I'm going to keep this nut. Hopefully I can find a new ferrule. Because I really hate to throw away a $42 fitting. May never use it, but I may need it next week. You never know. Let us do the cutty cut. I also will be buying a better hose and fitting kit now that I know a little more about what to buy. Because like I told y'all, I think I told you, I do plan on adding air conditioning to a lot of these old hot rods. Yep, eventually. All right, let me clean this up real good. And let's see what they look like. I believe that might just fit directly in there. If it does, that'll make it a whole lot better. Let me get them cleaned up. I got them cleaned up, but they don't fit as tight as I was hoping. So I'm gonna try to squish this one onto it and then maybe peck around on a hammer and whatnot. Be nice if I could get that one side squished in. Let's see. That's sort of working. I can live with that. Y'all look up there. Looks like a professional did it. Not really, but yeah, I think I can make that work though. Let me clean this up once more. We'll see if that'll braze. Well, here we go, fellers. I ain't got a clue if it's gonna work, but we're gonna give her the old try. This torch might not get hot enough. I might have to get the big torch out. You know, aluminum really sucks up the heat. Well, that ain't gonna work. We gotta do something about that. Let that cool off. I'm gonna try to pinch it with these needle nose. Ooh. That feels tighter. Let's try it. By George, we got her flowing now. That don't look bad, but it's got that flux on it. I don't know if you need to clean it off with something. Try to scrub that flux off, because that's probably acidic. And I don't want it, eating that joint up. I'll be back in a little bit. Loading the dies in this here crimping machine. Y'all remember me telling you here the other day that the AC world, as far as fittings and sizing and whatnot, they're just insane. Well, that's true. Here's a good example. This is the number 10 die. Number 10, normally like in SAE world or AN fitting, you got -6, -8, -10, -12, -14, -8, 16. What those numbers mean, -6, for instance, is 6/16. That means 3/8 is 3/8 hose. -10 will be 10/16, which is 5/8. Not in the air conditioning world. The number 10 hose is 1/2 inch. I don't know why. You'll have to ask the professionals, but we're using the 1/2 inch hose, so I have to use the number 10 die. And remember I told you I thought I bent this pin. I didn't bend the pin. This has sprung. I was really jamming on it. Yep. So I have to drive that pin in now. Anyways, it still works. Let me get the hose slipped on here. We'll get this put on and get us a length to cut it. All right, here we go. Little fella all the way down in there. Well, it won't even go on now, so that's good. There we go. Close the valve. Where are we at right here? That's pretty good right there. Ooh! What would it look like? Have to use chanty locks to get the pin out. That ain't bad looking, fellers. No, sir. Let me go hook this up. We'll get us a length. Get her tightened up right here, just hand tight. Then we'll route her approximately about like that. We'll give us a little bit of slack. Run her across here, and then bring on around right there. Where's my 15? We'll cut her off. That don't look bad. Cut that fella off right there. Let me get my cutters. All right, let's go crimp that end. When you're making stuff like this that's crimped, this hose has a natural curve. Well, you want to get it laying where it's natural, where it's not kinked or fighting you. When you get it like that, mark it. I got a red marker right there. That way I can keep it, where it'll lay natural when you hook it up. That's about it. All right, let me put this hose on. This is the only one I need to make. The other, from the condenser to the evap, is fine. Let me get these hooked up, and we need to pressure test it. I'll be back in a little while. Got everything hooked up. I'm going over it once more with the soapy water. I ain't seeing nary a bubble nowhere, fellers. I sure ain't. Nope. So, I'm gonna hook a vacuum pump up, and we're gonna pump her down probably 30 minutes or so. I might go get me a little snack while I wait on that. Then we'll come back, we'll fill her up with Freon, and hopefully it's gonna cool a little better this time. Pulled a vacuum for approximately 30 minutes, and then it's been probably 30 more minutes that it's held that vacuum right there. Oh yeah, we're in good shape. Let me fire it up, back it out, and we'll go to adding Freon. Here's the thing about the Freon. This is what we reclaimed, and it's liable to have some metal and trash in it. I don't want to put that in a brand new system. I got 5.5 cans over there of new. That's what we're going to put in here. We will save that for some old pile of junk that may work, may not. Yep. Anyways, let's back her out and fire it up, man. All right, fellers, here we go with the first can of Freon. Open her up. There she goes. Oh, she just kicked on. Oh, yeah. Let me put this breather back on. I had a vacuum line off, why that's off. I am weighing each can. I bought a little scale, so I want to know how much we're putting in. I believe that can's empty. Let me go get another one. Also, here's a little tip. On these new ones that reseal, you don't want to run that all the way in and leave it because it won't let any out. Back it off, turn or so. It'll let more Freon in. Let me go weigh this one. I got 11.4 ounces out of that can. Not bad, they're 12 ounces. Putting it down there by the radiator, warm that can up, make the pressure build a little bit so it'll go in faster. Let's go check the vent temps, see what we got. All right, I don't have any of the vents hooked up because I was, testing right here at the evap core, trying to figure out what was going on. Let's see what we got in there. Well, here's the deal, fellers. I don't know what's wrong with this stupid thing. I've only got about 37.5 ounces of Freon in it. It should have 10 to 12 more than that, probably. And it's already acting like it's overcharged. 43 on the low side, about a 200 or so on the high side with, I'm measuring temperature, air temperature at the evap. 55 degrees. That's nowhere near. I got the probe stuck in the evap coil. 55 degrees. It's acting like it's overcharged with 37 ounces. Something ain't right. I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is I'm fixing to go in the house. I'm starting to feel bad again. My knees are killing me. I'm going to take some drugs, probably go to bed. Maybe when I wake up tomorrow, I'll feel a little bit better and come back out here and figure out what's wrong with it. I don't know where this video is going to end up. We may not even get the air conditioner fixed. I do know this. We're not going to get a vehicle. I told y'all at the beginning we might go to Ohio. No, ain't happening. That ain't happening. And I thought I had bought another truck for parts. Well, actually, it's an OBS. I think it was a 97 dually. It had a 4L80E and a rear end I wanted for another project. But the truck looked good enough to me to actually put back on the road. And fella just quit talking to me, so I don't guess I'm going to go get that either. Definitely not going to get the transmission put in. I just don't think I can do it right now. Anyways, I'm going in the house. I'm going to study on this a little bit, see what I can figure out, but I don't know. I'll see y'all tomorrow. 'Tis another lovely day here at the Backyard Butchery, capital of the world. Still got old Doodie Brown that we got to figure out. Did a lot of research last night, and here's what I come up with. It's a very good chance that we are overcharged with Freon and oil, all due to that parallel flow condenser. Let me explain. The old tube and fin condenser that would have come on this has got at least 5/16 tubes, maybe 3/8, I don't know. I'd have to have one to measure it. Well, these are tubes right here. Let me turn you around and just show you how small they are. See how small? Here's my finger. I do have a fat finger, but see how small and thin those tubes are? Yep. They're pretty thin. Let me explain. The old R12 system called for, I think, about 60 ounces of R12. General rule is when you're retrofitting with 134A and you haven't changed anything, any components, you charge it with 80% of the old charge, which would be roughly 48 ounces of 134. But compressor size matters, and that parallel flow coil condenser matters too. because of the tube size. This one holds less Freon than the tube and fin. Therefore, your Freon charge will drop even more. So, it's very possible that low 30s ounces of R134 would work on this. 2, the oil charge, same thing. The condenser holds less oil. The oil flows with the Freon through the whole system. You got to have the oil to lube the compressor. Once again, parallel flow coil, a lot smaller than the tube and fin. Therefore, it ain't going to hold as much oil. And when the oil clings to the side of the insides of the tubes, it hinders heat transfer a lot. So it could be overcharged with oil. Here's what we're going to do firstly. We're going to pull, I may pull 8 or 10 ounces of Freon back out, see where we're at, and if it looks good, we'll leave it. If not, I'll add 2 or 3 ounces at a time until I'm satisfied with what we got. We're going to run with it. And if none of that works, I will have to evacuate the whole system and then try to get some of the oil out, because that's the only thing left that could be hindering it. Anyways, let me get hooked up. I'll get it outside because we've got to have it running. I'm going to, well, let me just turn you around and show you how I'm going to pull the Freon out. Instead of using my little refrigerator compressor to evacuate it or reclaim the Freon, we're going to hook right here and open the high side because it's the higher pressure with it running. That'll push Freon into our recovery tank. It'll be sitting on our scale, and when I have reclaimed about 10 ounces, we'll shut her down, let the motor and air conditioner keep running, let it equalize and see where we're at. Let's get her outside. I'm going to briefly open this and watch this till we hit 10 ounces. It's going to barely crack it actually. 10.5, I'm going to stop right there. Let's see what this does after a few minutes. Low side's already dropped to about 33. High side's 175. Just in 1 minute, right back where we were. 4,200. If our vent temps have went up, then we've heard it. Yeah, they went up 3 degrees, 2 to 3. That tells me that it wants a little more charged. Maybe not 10 ounces, but it wants more. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna bore y'all with this, but I'm gonna add a couple, 3 ounces at a time, give it 5 minutes to stabilize, check vent temps every time, and when vent temp starts creeping back up, shut her off, but that's probably as good as it's gonna be. I'll be back in a little while and let you know what happened. I also know, by the way, before I start doing that, 200 on the high side today with it 88, I would expect. Last night at 72 degrees, no, I think 200 is way too high. But I don't understand why did it not go higher than 200 today at 88 if it was 200 last night at 72. I don't know, fellas. I'm not a scientist. I'm a backyard butcher. That's what I am. I'll be back in a little while. All right, here's the deal. Let me go over and sit down and get off my knees. I pulled out 10.5 ounces. Vent temps went to 54. I've added 4 different times, a total of 7.2 ounces. Just now, the vent temps have dropped 2 degrees. I added superheat, checking it, and it has went up 3 or 4 degrees. So I was probably pretty close with that 37 ounces. I just got lucky is what happened. I'm gonna keep adding. Now that the temperature's dropping, whenever it quits dropping, that's when we're gonna stop, and I'm gonna say it's good. I'll be back. I don't know. I'll be another hour or 2. We'll see. I'll see you in a little bit though. Well, apparently we are right there. I just added 1 more ounce, and my superheat started dropping, which means you're getting a little too much liquid Freon in the evap. So we're gonna cut her off right here. I'm gonna say it's good. So I dropped down to 27.4 ounces plus now it's 8.2, so do the math, whatever it is. That's what this truck wants in Freon. What, about 35 ounces? Let me unhook gauges and stuff. We'll head down the road and see how it cools driving it. It has took an act of Congress to get this thing out of there because it chevilles right in the way and junk everywhere else. I got to have a cleaning up and possibly sell some of these vehicles. Sure enough. We're at 73 right now. I hope that improves. $65. Ain't looking real good yet. Brakes are good again. Uh-oh. We are out of gas. What in the world, man? Completely out. Won't even run. This is good. Let me get on my phone. Call somebody. What in the world, man? This is doomus if there ever was any. Yep, sure enough. Well, I got me some gas. Put it in. When I get done with this, we'll head down the road. See how this cooling this AC is going to do. All right, is it going to start? Let me put a little bit in the carburetor. Well, my hood latch just broke. Yep, it ain't doing nothing, fellas. It just broke. Yeah, so that's good. Can't open the hood to give it any gas. Yep. I ever told y'all about MLS? And brake it just come loose. I got the other end of it right here. Let me see if I can fix this. Probably not. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Ooh, hot. Very, very hot. Very, very hot, hot. Very, very, very hot, 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 very hot. Drink up, little buddy. I think I got maybe 2 drops in the car. The rest of it went over the intake. Let's see what that does. Well, as the fuel pump, we got a fire, got a fire, got a fire. Ooh. Still got a fire. There we go. No, something going on, fellas. I got a big fire, got a big fire, got a big fire. Ooh. Woo. Well, that was interesting. I had to pull my shirt off and kill the fire. I don't know what's going on with it. Not a clue, but I'm gonna try to get down to level ground because I'm on a pretty steep hill. That way I ain't got to ride the brake while I'm trying to get it running. Whew. What in the world, fellas? It's just daily battle with me. Yeah. If it can happen, it will. All right, is this level ground? Maybe if it'll stop rolling. Let's give her another try and see what happens, but I don't know what's going on with the carb right now. Gas, I see gas shooting out of somewhere. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Ain't got a clue, fellas. Well, let me put the breather back on. I don't know, man. All right, that was fun. Let me turn this air on. See if I can cool off. It's been about 2 miles and it's putting out 55. That's what it was doing, sitting there idling, or fast idle. I thought it dropped several degrees. Driving down the road, more air going through the condenser, but apparently not. Let's stop in here and get some gas. All right, let's go for a little bit longer ride. See what it's going to do. It's looking like 55 degrees is the best it's going to do. I was hoping it would drop in the 40s going down the road, but, well, let's get back to the shop. I'll explain to you why I think it won't cool any more than that. It is keeping me cool while it's blowing on me, but the cab is just sort of warm-ish. Yeah, it ain't all that great. Well, I had to go change my shirts because, you know, we caught on fire and my shirt smelled like burnt gas and burnt oil and burnt grease and everything else. So I had to go change that. That could have been horrendous. That sort of scared me there for a minute because it was not just on the carb. It had spread on the intake and it was headed to the fuel line coming in. Yep. So I panicked just a little bit. Glad we got that out. Anyways, there's several things that have entered my little pea brain over the last hour or two of why this thing won't cool like I think it should. One, we do have holes in the floorboard, and the door seals, they're not all that great. That's letting in hot outside air. Two, it's not blowing very much air. I just went to Mama's to pick up this little tank right here. Going to use it for a recovery tank. And, you know, I drove my S10. That's maybe 3 miles from here. And on high, the air temps were 61, 62. It did drop into the 50s on the way back. But the airflow is just massive compared to this one. It on a medium low is what this does on high. I think that's part of the issue. We're not getting nowhere near enough airflow. These things never have, you know, flowed a lot, but there's something going on with this because it won't flow hardly any. And two, once you up airflow, your temperature goes up too. That's just the way it is. This one on low, it might drop in the 40s, but it ain't moving no air. You turn it on high, and it goes up to 55. Anyway, that's another thing. We ain't moving off air, but when we do, then our air temp's going to go up. which brings me to the system itself. Again, told y'all it could be overcharged with oil, or I don't like our low side temps at 43. Well, yeah, probably about 40 to 43. It'll never get cooler. That evap will never get cooler than about 48 degrees. That's just fact, science, whatever you want to call it. When 134A is at about 43 or 40, maybe 40, it's at 48 degrees in the evap. We need to see 30 to 35, and that'll put us at about 35 to 40 degrees, I think, somewhere in there. The only way to change that is to change the orifice tube. What we got in there now is what they call a white, and they got a red and a blue that are smaller. And here's why you need that. 134A has smaller molecules. It's rushing through that small orifice tube faster than 12 with that white orifice tube. Therefore, you can't pull the suction side down low enough to get the evap cold enough. I'm thinking about that's why I went and got this little tank right here and pull this back down and change that orifice tube to the smaller. I think I'll go with the blue one. It ain't but like 10,000 difference, but they claim that can make a huge difference. I'm not doing that tonight. No, sir. Matter of fact, I'm starting to feel kind of bad again. Fix to go in the house, and hopefully later on this evening, I'm going to come back out here and let me show you what I plan on doing. Nothing to the AC system. We're probably done with that on this video. I've wore y'all out twice now on AC stuff. Yeah, we're done with that for now. Remember me telling you the steering it's just back and forth all over the place. Well, there's the rag joint is split, actually. I bought a new one. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You know, it's made of rubber. A lot of people will eliminate these altogether, and I probably should. But this part here is rubber, and it's split, and it's giving it some slop. And the input shaft is got a lot of slop too. You can tighten that up. So we're going to change that and tighten that up. And I would like to check the toe, because it wanders, like it's towed out a little too much. I'd like to do that in a little while, and then once it cools off, change valve covers or valve cover gaskets. This one leaks bad, and like I told y'all, I think that's where that oil's coming from underneath. Right now, though, I'm heading in the house. This, whatever, I'm calling it tick fever disease. It causes extreme fatigue. Anyway, I ain't gonna talk about it. I'm going in the house. Hopefully, in a couple hours, maybe we'll get out here and fix the steering and all that stuff. All right, I rested up a little bit. Let's get this rag joint out of here if we can. Well, there's one bolt. I know y'all can't see what I'm doing, but it's kind of hard to get you in here on this. But I am prying it off of the steering box. Well, I finally got it out. There it is. And I was looking for where it was split, because I know I saw it, but I can't find it now. Anyway, it's really flippity flappity floppity, and it's got a lot of slop in it. Also, it's got a little metal screen mesh embedded in that rubber. Yeah, that hurts. I've poked myself about 1,687 times. Yep. Here's the new one. We'll put it on in a minute. Let me show you real quick, if I can get the camera down in there, how much slop we got on the input shaft. Well, my arm is going to be in the way of the light. Let me get you right there, and then get you down in hither, and well, now it won't move. So whatever, man, whatever. I'm going to try to tighten that up, because it was moving pretty good with the steering shaft on there. It's hard to get the camera in here and y'all see what I'm doing, so let me get that done. I'll be back in a minute. Well, I put the rag joint on there. Let me get you down in here. Put it on there and grab hold of it, to see the slop. You see it rocking back and forth. Well, I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but, well, no, because it's focusing on something else. Let me see. Maybe in the middle of your screen, there's the pitman arm. It's moving every time I turn this. So the slop is not in the input shaft there. Nope. It's on out somewhere. So Let me go ahead and put this back together, and then we got to figure out where our slop is. Rag joint is in, tightened up, everything's good. And I did a little bit of investigative work, and I have deduced that we need a pitman arm. Yeah, of course, you know, that's the hardest thing on the whole front end to get off. That's what we need. I'll show you right here what I'm talking about. Got a little bit of play there. Yep, sure does. So I will order one. I can get one tomorrow. We'll put it on then. What I'm doing right now is fixing to check the toe. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen this little contraption. You got a spring here that slides right here. You put her on the center of the tire. You put her on the center of the tire. This little chain hanging down, you want it barely touching the ground. We will roll it forward. This will come this away. You stop when the chain, is barely touching the floor. You read this little gauge. It'll tell you if it's in or out or dead on a 0. Let me set y'all up on the camera stand. I'll give her a shove yon way. All right, here we go. I don't know what the specs is supposed to be on this. I'll look them up after we roll it and determine what our toe is. Approximately right there. All right, what have we got? We have toe out. Is that an 1/8? I told y'all it was toed out by the way it was wandering back and forth. Yep. Well, let me loosen up tie rod ends and we will remedy that. Yep, sure will. It's getting harder and harder to find good information on the interwebs. I don't know if it's lost. I don't know if Google just don't know what it's doing anymore, but it took a while. And I'm still not sure, it's good information, but I found 3/16 of an inch toe in. So that's the target. That's what I'm gonna try to do. So I done sprayed down the tie rod ends. Let me see if I can bust them loose and get them turned a little bit. All right, let's see if we can get these fellas broken loose. Well, that was pretty easy. Sure was. What about this one? Oh, yeah, look at there, buddy. Let me get me something, chanty locks or pipe wrench, see if that'll turn. I gotta get me a set of small aluminum pipe wrenches. Those little fellers here are heavy. Ooh, that ain't moving, is it? No. What in the world? Might have to get the old torch out. Oh, something moved right then, didn't it? Yeah, there we go. That's left hand thread, so if I go this way, it's going to tighten it. So I need to go down. Why won't it go? It went a minute ago. I'm going to break something. Well, let me work on this a little bit. I'll be back. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Had to put a little heat on the big old Hummer. By George, we got her going in. Yep. Let me do some adjusting. I'll be back and we'll give her another try with our little toe gauge. All right, I cranked on it probably too much. But let's go forward and see what we got. I'm shooting for, I don't know, 1/8 to 3/16, somewhere in there. About right there. What do we have? We have the flashlight dropping. We got 1, 2, fellas, that's 3/16 toe in. Maybe it's a hair over. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna leave it right where it's at. Let me tighten this stuff down. I'll be back. Tie rod adjuster is tightened up. I want to see if I can get this pitman arm nut loose. Oh yeah, I don't like that, fellas, because this has no cautery pin to hold it in. I don't know why they did that on a steering component. I don't think they did it on any of them. If I recall correctly, Lockjaw does not have cautery pin on the pitman arm at all. A little crazy if you ask me, but whatever. Wonder if I got a great big old socket that'll fit that. Probably not. Well, I forgot about this big old socket set right here. It hides over in the corner. Let's see if we can break this loose. Yep, with ease, I might add. Now, I don't want to beat on this. I think I've got pullers. I think I bought a whole set of pitman arm, tie rod end stuff. Let me get over in the cabinet, see if I can find it. Hopefully that'll pull right off. Well, I've got something for the pitman arm here on the steering box, but nothing for this end over here. So I guess I'm gonna have to keep on doing it the old-fashioned way and whooping the devil out of it. The only thing I know to do. Come on, man. There we go. Now will this fella right here fit my pitman arm? Yes, sir, I do believe it will. Probably shouldn't use an impact on this, but I'm going to. Well, that ain't doing nothing. Afraid to get real rough on this because it is cheap Chinese junk and it's liable to disintegrate. I think she just moved. Or something's giving. Oh, look at there, fellas. Oh, yeah. Ta-da! Well, that won't come off. Come on, man. Wonder if I need to turn the wheels that way. Would that help me any at all? Let me get up there and see. Turn, turn, turn. Oh, look here, I think. Yeah, that helped out a lot. Awesome. With Artez, you can see just a wee bit of play in it back and forth there, working it with my hand. I don't know how much that was adding to the slop, but we're going to replace it. Yep, I'll order it here in just a little bit, but fixing that toe out, that's going to help tremendously because I'm telling you, that thing is just back and forth. It wore me out. Anyways, I'm going in the house. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Yep. Ode to the joys of, well, working first, second, third, whatever shift I want. That's what I work. Yep. Anyways, I'm going to go in the house, order this part. It'll be here in the morning. We'll do that. I got to do valve cover gaskets. We'll take it for a drive to make sure the steering is better. Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, we got our new pitman arm. Trying to figure out which way it goes. It's got 4 splines. I think it goes about right there. Yep, sure does, sir. Now we can get that little feller there into place. Yep, there she goes. Let me put my nuts on. Where did the really large one go? Is it in here? Nope. Here it is. I found it. Anyway, let me get this tightened up. And then we'll let it down. We got to do valve cover gaskets. And then we'll take it for a drive and hopefully it'll steer a whole lot better. Yes, I just used my 1/2-inch ratchet as a punch. Tell you what, just for my peace of mind, I'm going to put some Loctite on this nut because there's no cautery pin on it. This new pitman arm on this end has a cautery pin, so that's awesome. Let me get some Loctite. If you've been with me for a while, you know I'm kind of curious about my steering parts. Brake parts? If you lose brakes, you can still steer it, not hit anybody or anything, hopefully. If you lose steering, all you can do is jam on the pedal and it's going to go wherever it's going to go. I don't like the thought of that at all. Put this feller on right here, and hopefully it never backs off. I'm going to put my hands on this feller. Am I stronger than that impact? Let's just see. No, sir, I sure ain't. She's pretty tight. Oh, yeah. No, I can't do nothing with that. All right, let me finish this up. I'll meet y'all up top, and we'll get the valve cover gaskets changed out. Let's pull this off and see what it looks like. All right. There we go. It's a old, what do you call it, cork? And it is smashed, I mean, yeah, paper thin. So hopefully that's the issue. Let me get this cleaned up and we'll put the new rubber ones on. I got her cleaned up, ready to go, but we got a tippy tap on one of these valves. I think it's over there. I figure whilst I got the valve cover off, let's just run the valves and check the rockers. Where are we going to start? Let's just start up here, I guess. That is exhaust opening, so this one here should be good to check. If I can get to that push rod. Well, fellas, I can't get to it. It's got valve guides on them, and I can't get to it. So how are you supposed to do this? What in the world? I guess I can spin it like that right there with just one finger. I'm gonna go, quarter turn. Let's go one more. Let's go half a turn. Probably be all right. All right, let me check the rest of them. I shall return. I'll let you know if any of them are actually loose. Let us go, man. Let us go. Got them adjusted. Number 4 exhaust might have been a wee bit loose. And then number 8 exhaust. That lifter, it ain't in great shape. It was hard for me to feel any resistance on the push rod spinning it when I was trying to adjust the preload. Yep, so it's in bad shape. Anyway, let me get this fella on some kind of way. My gasket is being stupid. Did we go down? I think so. All right, let me get these bolts in, get this tightened down. I'm gonna do that side. I shall return. Valverinis are adjusted. Valve cover gaskets are replaced. Now I'm gonna soak this down with some carb cleaner, wipe everything off, and then that'll let us know if that was the issue or do we have a rear main leaking? I don't know. Let me wipe this off. We'll let the little feller down. We'll hit the road, see how it drives. I found some very loose oil pan bolts also, and that could be where the leak's coming from. Tighten them up, and the exhaust on this side was a little bit loose, so I tightened it up. Tippy tap is gone. That's awesome. Let's take her down the road, see how it's going to drive. Man, that sun is terrible. Woo. Well, it ain't wandering anymore, and the steering is a lot tighter. Yeah, I can live with this. Oh yeah, makes it a little more enjoyable to drive now. There was one intake valve on the driver's side. I think it was number 7, really loose. That's probably where the tippy tap was coming from. Does it drive straight? I want to pull to the right a little bit, but I can live with that. least it ain't back and forth all the time. Brakes are very good. I'm locking up the back wheel and ain't even trying to. What in the world? Watch this. I was just barely touching the brakes on that. What in the world? I'm gonna stop in there and visit with Mama just a minute. I will catch y'all when we get back to the shop. Well, Doodie Brown got him some more repairs. Yep. Only thing I know to do is take him on another trip, see what tears up. Hopefully we get him home and fix those and do it all over again. That's the only way I know to do it, I guess. Yep. I do hate that we didn't get the transmission in. I really want that overdrive. I will get it in sometime or another before we take another trip, hopefully. I do hate that y'all had to be subjected to some more backyard butchery, AC, garbagery, debacle, whatever you want to call it. I do think that he's a lot better. He's more consistent for sure. There's just some little something we got to change. I got some ideas. I'm not going to subject y'all to that again. I'll do them off camera, and when I figure it out, I'll let y'all know on down the road. Anyways, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I will see y'all on the next one.